What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this one we have why I left my Caribbean paradise for depressing weather, Poland. Yeah, I need an explanation. Before we dive in though, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to support this channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Now let's get some answers.
Do you know what is the question that I get the most when people find out where I'm from and that I live here in Poland? It's literally, why would you leave Dominican Republic? Why would you leave such a sunny, beachy paradise to come here to gray, dark, cold Poland? Why? You know, today I'm gonna give you that answer.
I'm here for it.
Boom! Cześć ludzie! What's up, people? Hola, JT here. Welcome to another cold episode. I do get asked a lot of questions when it comes to just my journey here in Poland, right? First of all, why did you move here? Where do you live? What do you do for a living? What is your favorite food? What is your favorite place that you visited in Poland? But like I mentioned, the question that without a doubt I get asked the most is, why would you leave a paradisiacal en español, such a paradise place like the Dominican Republic? The Dominican Republic is one of the top destinations for tourism in whole Latin America and actually in the American continent. So people find themselves constantly bewildered by the, you know what, if we're in this beautiful park, I might as well give you many different backgrounds. Let's move on to another place so I can continue my story.
Okay.
So people do find themselves bewildered by that fact. It's the beach. It's constant summer. Dude, seriously? Like seriously, we spend half of the year depressed because we cannot find warmth and sun, and you left that place to come here? Monochromatic Poland? Yes, I did. But you know, there's a little bit of a backstory. My particular story began in the year 2004. I went to Madrid, and it was the first time visiting Europe. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna plug in one episode that I did called Europe Killed My American Dream. You can find the link somewhere up.
And I did watch that episode. I did check that out, and I do remember him saying, I know that his wife is Polish, I believe. I'm pretty sure. But there was another reason as well.
There, and that experience completely changed me. Up until that moment,
he wanted to go to college in the U.S., but something happened. He ended up going to Spain and absolutely loving it in the U.S. And then I guess now he's in Poland and he don't even care about the U.S.
What I wanted to do was go to the United States. That's the culture that I was the most accustomed to. The music that I listened to, the bands that were Americans. Life happened and I could not make my way to the United States. Again, it's all explained on that video that I just talked to you about. Yes. But when I got to Spain, a completely different universe opened up for me. Europe is completely different from anything, especially if you come from Latin America. Actually, that is not entirely true. If you have been to Argentina or to Chile, you will soon, of course, tell me, dude, but that looks like Europe, like literally looks like Europe. I've never been, but of course I've seen videos, I've seen photos. Friends of mine that have been there, they have told me how much it resembles Europe. But the rest of the cities looks like and it feels like Latin America. So when I went to Madrid and I started walking around, not only the architecture and the vibe, but also the pubs and the restaurants and the fashion of the people, so different from, you know, what back then people were wearing in Latin America. Now, this video is not about my whole history. Maybe if you guys are interested at some point, I'll tell you my life story up until right now. And I was in contact with my now wife. I said to her, I'm gonna go to Poland and I'm gonna visit you. Man, from the very beginning, I was enchanted with this place. I just think it was destiny. But you know, we did not move to Poland at that time. No. You know where we went? We actually moved to Dominican Republic, my wife and I. At the time, I could not live in Poland because I didn't have a visa. We just decided to establish ourselves in the Dominican Republic for a little bit. But we both agreed that it was not the place where we wanted to maybe start a family. It turns out that there were some things that really posed a challenge for her. And I guess in that regard, we both saw eye to eye. One of those things was the first reason why I moved to the gray country.
Here we go.
And that is the weather. And this is when people ask me, and this is what, Jesus, dude, what the heck?
So the weather like posted a challenge for her, or if y'all said the Dominican Republic was all sunny and everything, and so I guess we got to hear the answer. Why would it post?
Talking about, look at you, look at today. Yeah, I know. I don't like the heat. I am not a big fan of the sun, and I really like the cold. That's a very unusual thing for a Caribbean.
That sounds exactly like my wife. We are complete opposites on a lot of things. She enjoys it being cold. Me and the cold are arch enemies. We are bitter enemies. Now I don't like being too hot, but I will take too hot over cold any day of the week. Give me the sun. Because I just get cold very, very easily, and it gets in my bones, and it's terrible for me. Being cold is terrible for me. I can be hot, no issue.
Most people from the Dominican Republic, from Puerto Rico, Cuba, I don't know, I guess most of Latin America, unless they are from some part of the mountains of the Sierra, somewhere in Colombia or Venezuela, won't find this type of weather attractive. Hands get cold, it's hard to get up in the morning, you don't want to do anything, but the sun and the darkness is one of the things that people complain the most about a place like Poland. But in all honesty, this does not affect me at all. I wake up every day at 5 in the morning to go to the gym that opens at 6.
There you go.
And I train, come back home, I feel energized. I don't care if it's minus outside. I really don't. I walk around and people look at me as if I'm weird because I don't like having a lot of layers of clothing. I don't like having heavy jackets. I absolutely dread going to most Polish people's houses in the winter because it's so warm in there. That is absolutely nightmarish for me. Another thing that is hard to explain to people is that I am not really a big fan of the beach. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy going to the beach. I love looking at the water, but it's not something I require for me to be happy. People truly scratch their heads when I mention the weather being one of the factors. Here in Poland, for the most part, the summers, although are getting warmer and warmer, are still somewhat manageable. Thinking about the weather is a very important thing for me. Poland is a great place for me to be in when it comes to weather, and not my country.
Different strokes for different folks. People are different, and if he liked cold better, it sounds like Poland was a much better decision than the Dominican Republic. I completely understand where he's coming from on the beaches. I'm not a big beach fan too. I'll go, but I don't have the most fun at the beach. It's just not. I'd rather go to the swimming pool than go to the beach. But that's just my vibe. I like the sun.
The second reason why I'm here and not there is because of family. And that one is a little bit of a double-edged sword, because on one hand, my mom lives in the Dominican Republic. So that one is a little bit of a thing because I miss her dearly. But she's the only person from my close family that is still in the Dominican Republic. My dad lives in the United States. My brothers and sisters also live in the United States. And we are already planning on how to bring my mom to Poland to live with us. It's kind of like a non-permanent thing that she's going to be there and we're going to be here. On the flip side, here in Poland, we have all of Carolina's family. And this family situation became very apparent to us during the pandemic. Before that time, it was very easy to get, for example, my in-laws to come to visit us. And in, half a day, basically, they would be at our doorstep. And that was very convenient. They would also find cheap flights. But then COVID happened everything became extremely difficult, and for them to make their way to our house in the UK to see their grandson. On top of that, we realized being in the UK, London, which is where we lived, it's such a big place. It was very difficult to keep friendships. Sometimes people would move and they would be an hour away on the tube. And just getting our son to have a solid foundation of relationships in his life, and especially with family, it was proving to be a little bit of a challenge. And we sat down and we decided, what are we going to do? So we really thought about it, and I said to her, listen, I think this family thing is very important. We need this support. She said it to me, to be honest. She was the one that was actually advocating for this, and I agreed with her. And we made the decision to come because of that. Here we have Carolina's brother and his children. We have my in-laws, we have cousins, we have friends that are, so close to my wife that it's almost like family. Having those relationships became very important to us, especially after we had children. Poland is where family is. And hopefully, in a not too distant future, my mom will be here with us too, and she will live close to us, and she will be part of, she will be more often in these vlogs.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I mean, families, when you have a family, I feel like that is always the first thing that you think about when you're moving anywhere. What's best for the family. That's always going to come first before anything else. And so I completely understand. I, not too long ago, moved from Texas to Georgia, and that's like a 12-hour drive from each other with my wife. And her family is all around, and my family is all in Texas. And so there are moments where it's like, dang, like I do miss my family. Like seeing her family like hang out all the time, like it makes me miss my family and being around them. But my family, I guess I wouldn't say is as tight knit as to where we don't hang out all the time. We're not calling each other all the time. We're not. If any one of us needs each other, we're always there. But we're more of it's just nice to know you're close. But unless I like actually need anything, I won't really like hit you up or anything. See what's. But I absolutely love them to death. Whereas her family, they all my days. They talk every single day, and I mean every single day. Visit multiple times a week, and so when it comes to like tight knit, I do understand like we have more support here for sure. Even though I still miss my family and I get homesick, and I wish I could have brought them all with me, and but yeah, we do have more support here, and we just had our first son, and so. It's really nice having that kind of support. So yeah, we're gonna take trips back and forth throughout the year. Just gonna live here. We were supposed to move back to Texas, but when I think about moving again and doing all it took for me to move to Georgia and getting registered and so much, and then moving to Texas, and then we don't know what we want to do after that. It's just too much to think about. Rather just stay put. Alright, well, we're going to keep going. This is just about my guy.
The third reason why I'm here is lifestyle. But before I begin, I'm going to have a big disclaimer. I am a very proud Dominican guy. I will never hesitate to defend my country, to showcase the beautiful things that we have, absolutely carry the flag of the Dominican Republic as high as I can wave it. So what I'm gonna say has nothing to do with me bashing my country, but I am honest, and most importantly, I express my mind. In Latin America, there's a certain way in how people live their lives. In Latino cultures, who you are is attached very, very often to what type of clothes you're wearing and the brands that you buy and the vehicle that you drive. And I was always having a hard time agreeing with that. I don't need to have that on me to feel better or to feel superior. And in Latin America, this is quite often the case. When you arrive to a parking spot, the entrance is reserved to the good cars, the cool cars. People know you by your last name, and if your family has certain renowned achievements. I think that in European countries, in, for example, a country like Poland, where the majority of the people are middle class, it has a lot less of an impact. What clothes you wear, what car you drive. Now, here in Warsaw, where I am, we have the Warszawka people. We all have seen them, right? They have the great cars and they are wearing the Chanel stuff. And yes, I see them, though this happens here in Poland too. But most of the people walking around, they don't care. And it was a very big deciding factor for me, for my wife also, when we were in the Dominican Republic together and we understood that there are certain circles that we only have access to if you're just dressed the right way. My shirt is not going to determine the respect that I get here in this country. But again, not everybody in the Dominican Republic is like this. There's a lot of people that are normal, down to earth. They are not flaunting what they have. But because of the disparity in social classes in Latin America, you do find a lot more of that behavior that I mentioned. And whether you want to or not, you're going to have to deal with it. Sometimes you cannot escape it. And that is the reason why I'm here.
I can completely understand that point. I feel like, of course, we have that same thing here in the U.S. when it comes to like different classes and being flashy, and I've always wanted more money to be able to live a certain type of lifestyle. But I guess in Poland, it's not like that. It's more like everybody's kind of down to earth. Nobody wants to be flashy or extravagant, right? And so I completely get that.
The last reason why I'm here is development. Dominican Republic, though, has transformed itself. It's one of the strongest economies in the region, especially when you see the size that we have. So this particular point, development, has nothing to do with me leaving the Dominican Republic because it's not developing fast enough or it's not going towards the right direction and Poland is better. So it's a little bit more of why did we choose this place to be our final destination? Where Poland is heading is a very exciting thing. Doing research for this channel, I've seen how Poland looked in the 90s, how Poland looked during the 80s, 70s, during the communistic era, and where we are now. I feel very happy to be here, to add my 2 cents to that development, to raise children here that will be part of this community. So it played a big role to see the mindset that Poles have when it comes to their country, how people are supporting the Polish brands, the Polish businesses. They are proud to be Polish. Even the language, I see it more and more on Instagram. People making content showing foreigners like me concepts of Polish artists in music, writing in Polish and exporting that to the world. That is an amazing thing, because I believe that the future in this country is very interesting. Not everything's perfect. We have some hurdles to overcome for sure, but it's exciting to say the least.
Love that. Absolutely.
Boom!
Love that.
That's all, guys. That's the end of this episode. I hope you liked it, and I really hope you liked it because it's getting colder. Look, I had to change my gloves. Why am I doing this? Yeah, I could be in the Dominican Republic at the beach with a drink in my hand, the sun in my face, getting tan, and I'm here freezing my ass off. But you know what? I love it. I really, truly love it. I would not change it. I wonder how many people actually believe that I am here basically being held hostage by my wife, who forced me to move to Poland. Because who in their right mind would leave their paradisiacal country with warm weather and 30 degrees all year round for this beautiful sight? Well, you have one crazy person right here. I really hope you understood a little bit more of why I'm here. Thank you very much, guys. See you on another week. Adios.
I absolutely love that. And I'm so glad that him and his wife came to a decision to figure out what was best for them and what worked for them. And I feel like every family, everybody should be able to do that, figure out what place in the world works best for you, like where you want to live. So I think they came to a decision together, and it sounds like they're very happy with that decision. And you can't help but love that. The Caribbean paradise of the Dominican Republic, just not for him and his family. But let me know what you guys thought about that video. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the next one. I'll see you guys next time.